Just give me 1 second. Now, let's see if that works. Hello. Who that? Mr. Mosley? Kate, what the hell you been up to? What's going on? Hey, you want to hear this good word, huh? You like, that bitch know how to cuss the devil out. No, I got the softest side of me today for y'all. I got the softest side. Hold on, YouTube. I'm trying to adjust it where... Hello, good morning. I can't quite see who's on the chat right now because I got another window open on YouTube. Facebook, hi, good morning, everybody. We're just going to have a little fun. This is original content, okay? The other day I got up, I threw a poem up on Facebook. It's called When a Mother's Love is Counted Out, basically. Now I'm just going to share a quick testimony. Over on YouTube, Leon, I have what's called, when I do a video, like I'm going to do one later on, but it's called, you know, Making Your Own Memories Monday. So basically, I'm making mine now through this live, but I'll go back and throw something up later on. But I just want to share something with you. Now, hear me out. I have to sing. Anybody know Maya Angelou? I'm singing in my Maya Angelou sound now. I love the way she sings, but she didn't always hold a note or sing the right note. And she was really loud. I was trying to do it off camera for y'all, but then as soon as I went to turn the other one on, my thing hit the phone and it went down. That's why I told you to hold on, Leon. I had to get the phone that was recording for YouTube. So anyway, I'm going to get started. I love you guys, but I got up kind of in a praising way, you know. I always carry a song in my heart. I always, you know, have a song to go with a message, a poem to go with a song, because songs is poetry. Poetry is songs. But I hear me out, because the title, the first line in my poem kind of goes with Amazing Grace. So I'm going to do it as if y'all not here. I was going to try to do it off camera, but like I said, everything started falling, so I don't got no choice but to do it live. I'm not a singer, but I got my own arrangement. I play around with songs and I write lyrics, but I just wanted to just bless the listeners this morning. Because, you know, sometimes we get caught up in beef. We get caught up in work. We get caught up in the whys and the whats and the who, hows, and whatever's in life. I think sometimes we forget to give praise, especially, you know, Monday through Saturday for most people. Some people, like myself, we worship Saturday as our Sabbath, but for Sunday, it's the majority of the world's worship day, and I think that's the only time they really worship. So I always get up and say, God, what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Oh, I may not even start in the right key, but I'll pick it up somewhere along the way. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like, I'll keep this low, me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, I'm going to go ahead and start the poem for you all. And it goes a little something like this. When I was 14 years old, I had my first child. And sometimes we run through life, or we get started fast in life, trying to make excuses sometimes for what we don't get at home or what we think we're missing at 14 years old. And you'll hear my side of the story when I go through this poem as to why, and here we go, don't want to open up now, 1 second, as to why, you know, people at 14 have kids, at 15 have kids, 13, 12. You can say it's no home training. You can say the devil made me do it. You can say my parents wasn't there. You can say all these different things to justify why people have children at such an early age. So the other day I was here like, you know, God, what kind of led me out in the street? Because if you ever heard my testimony or read any of my books, I tell you, at 8 years old, I went to Ghent, New York on this big yellow bus to the Vocation Bible Study. We accepted Christ. Then from 8 to 14, there was no teaching. There was no church. There was no shepherd, no guidance, no reading the Bible, no feeding my soul. So I found my way out into the world and, you know, had my first child just turning upon 5th. I was 14. 3 months later, I turned 15. And I know there's a lot of women out there that can relate to this story. Regardless of what made you go out there and do what you did, is done, you know. And over the years, I've learned to forgive. And you don't always forget, but you don't hold the grudge. You don't hold the anger. You don't hold the shame. You don't hold the bitterness. You don't hold the resentfulness. You just don't hold any of that, you know, because you learn to grow mentally, spiritually, physically. Most people, I was telling somebody yesterday that we basically just want to grow physically and be a provider. Oh, I can't, but nobody grows mentally or spiritually. And I think that makes us better providers and doers for people when we have that in check, you know. So anyway, I was young. I had my first child. And I used to always say, oh, the devil leads you astray, especially when you Christian or when you in some kind of faith or whatever. And if you heard my story, I told you I'm no longer Christian, but I still read and talk to God out of the same Bible, some parts of it, and just have an open relationship with the Most High God. Which Christians, that was their way before Christianity was ever given to them as slaves to partake of. But, you know, I like to, you know, let me just go ahead and say this. When you go through situations like that and when you run into encounters like that, you don't have to stay oppressed to it. You can find freedom in choosing to believe that you can be free. You don't have to live by doctrines you were taught. You don't have to keep saying the devil made me do this, the devil made me do that. As I was going to say earlier, like most Christians, sometimes you have to assume responsibility and know that you played a role by choosing to do what you did, and most of everything that it is, you blame somebody else for. I did a post on Facebook that says, Lord, use my platform, you know, not to complain, not to blame people, not for their strife, because I don't give you strife. If anything, I believe I bring life to you. You understand what I'm saying? But it's people still walking in strife. And if you know who's the author of strife, you would know not to just serve certain things and go along with certain things in this world. And that's how you have to be. You just have to say, I'm not going to partake of it. I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm trying to get this other phone right. I'm not going to partake of that. I'm not going to be a part of that. And, you know, be done with it. You have choices. So when I was at 14, God was like, well, what do you think happened? You know, because he showed me a long time ago, you can't always blame the devil. So as I'm still growing and learning in my life and looking back and moving forward, there's always a story. There's always a testimony for you in your past to make you the person, you know, that you are today. So 14 years old. I had my first child. By the way, he is gonna be 35 this year? Oh my God. I just gave my age. He's gonna be 35. I'm 50, y'all. Wow. Yeah, so like in June, because I had him in June of 1982. Wow, it's been a long time. So anyway, it goes a little something like this. I was talking to God because I'm always asking him what we're going to talk about. What could we share today? What's good to, because you don't always have to go to the Bible to feed the sheep. There's stories you have going on in your life that you can just share that's biblically related, because if you read the Bible, it says there's nothing new under the sun. So whatever you went through, somebody else is going to go through. But what you go through is not for you. You have to be strong within it so that you can then pass it on to somebody else. You understand? So let me just see if I can get this up more eye level. I think that's a little better. Okay. So, and that's how that works. So anyway, I got up, I said, well, let me see what led me there. And here's my story about why, I was looking for what I was looking for at such a young age, and how I ended up out in the streets. And it wasn't even the street, because my first son came from a very well-to-do, very well-loved family in the community. So with that being said, it says when you count a mother's love out, and the reason why I started with Amazing Grace, because it says, I once was lost, but thank Yah that I'm found. Yielding to sin, I almost drowned. My head was under, and the lake was deep. The devil in hell was playing for keeps. Or was it just me? I said, or was it just me? At 14 years old, I had my first seed. Oh, come on now. It's not hard to believe that I was swift on my feet and fast in the ass. But if you're an honest person, chick, bitch, we're in the same class. My desire to find love at such an early young age was not just sex in my lustful ways. Nah, it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. What's up, Tracy? Nah, it wasn't that. It wasn't just to get my sexual shit off, but to cover up the love that I thought I had lost. Now that's some real boss shit, when you can admit that you lost something just to get away with sin. Internalize this and internalize that. And just like me, you may have missed some facts. Yeah, I said it, and don't you forget it, because when it comes to a mother's love, who are we to judge? I judged my mother. I said it. I judged my mother. I judged my mother not loving me because of the jealousy within breeding in me. Oh, hear what I have to say. Hear what I have to say. I wasn't aware of it then. I said I wasn't aware of it then. But when the family grows and you change your roles, sometimes a parent may lose love's self-control. Not in a bad way, though, y'all. It's not in a bad way. Hear what I have to say. If you have one child, you love that one. Then another comes and you deciding which one to love. Oh, come on now. I know you out there with me. I know you are out there and you hear what I'm saying. You have to decide which one to love now. Okay? Some can relate and others will hate, but some parents have favorites even to this day. To this day. To this day. Some parents have favorites to this day. My mom is the coolest though. She show us all adult love, but there was a time I felt I didn't get mine. I said there was a time I felt I didn't get mine. Who can relate with me? So I rebelled. I still look rebellious today though, right? We get along fine now. But I rebelled. I said I rebelled. Just like so many of you. But now I understand a mother's love all too well. She never stopped loving me, but I couldn't see. I said she never stopped loving me, but I couldn't see. Because if the attention she was giving them that came behind me, is you out there? Do you hear what I'm saying, people? This all came to me the other day as to why I went astray and had my first child at 14, I say. Okay? Let's go. Did you understand what I said? Did you understand what I said? I was missing it. You know, when you the last child, and then until somebody else come along, I guess. And sometimes we internalize that, right? That is a mother's love that was never ever missing. So I went my own way, drowning in sin. Sometimes your mind will make you think things is one way, but it's definitely not that way. That's what they say, the enemy plays tricks on you. It's in your own mind. Did you hear what I said? So, that is a mother's love that is never ever missing. So I went on my own way, drowning in sin. Or did the devil make me do it? Did the devil make me do it? Did the devil make me do it? Hear me out, I say. I'm not done yet. Throw your snaps in the air. Throw your snaps in the air if you can relate, okay? Because this some real shit. This ain't made up. This ain't marketed. I ain't sell it yet. I ain't even copywritten it yet. It's just on my Facebook post. But it's from my heart. So, did the devil make me do it? In the beginning, I told you he was playing for keeps, or was it just me? Because sometimes you'll have family members, friends, loved ones in that tug of war. When my sisters came underneath me, my mom was being pulled that way to give them love. I was pulling this way because I wasn't getting her love. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, she don't love me no more. Let me go do what I gotta do. And this is what happens, y'all. I chose to believe. Hey, Marquita R., God bless you. Hey, man, God bless you. I chose to believe the greatest damn lie, that my mother didn't love me and it was a disguise. I thought it was a disguise and what some have hid. I said I thought it was a disguise and what some have hid. And that's a grown-ass woman loving all of her kids. I said, and that's a grown-ass woman loving all of her kids. Sometimes you look out in your family and you see, you know, if there's one boy in the family, it seems like he get all the attention and 5 girls could get left out. What up, Roderick? Good morning. It seems like if you have, you know, more than one child, of course, that decision, pay rent, buy them both name brand sneakers, buy groceries, school clothes coming, you know, and it's like, oh, well, this one in a higher grade, this one, you know, got more athletics going on, and you have to make that decision. So when I say a parent's love is sometimes they lose that self-control of love. It's not to say they don't love all their kids. It's just to say sometimes parents have to make that decision as to if they're going to love them equally and give them all and go without and do without. And sometimes you can't even make that decision. You say, well, the little kids here, they need doctor's appointment. They need this. The older kids, we get older and we should become more independent and less dependent on our parents. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes life happens, whatever, but when you still young and in the family, it's like the little kids get more attention. And sometimes I was talking to God the other day. I think we get a little jealous of that, or we internalize it, or we, oh well, she paying all her attention to the kids now. I gotta get out here and get my own clothes. I gotta get out here and get my own hustle on. I gotta get out here and get my own money now. She's not giving to me what she used to give me. I gotta get out here and get my own attention, my own affection, my own love, my own desires, my own. And sometimes that's the sin within itself, thinking that people don't like you, or people don't love you, or people don't care for you, or people, and you draw the Bible says you're drawn away with your own lust. So it goes on to say, there's no rush to be an adult with clout, with that swag or whatever, especially when you count a mother's love out. We rush to be an adult. We rush to be grown. We rush to have our own kids. Well, let me tell you something. I don't care how it is, what it looks like. A mother never stops loving her kids. The attention may shift. Hey, Jessica, how are you? The attention may shift, but again, like I said, it's the circumstances within. It may be medical needs going on in the family. It may be just that most parents in their mind, well, you older now, you grown now, you showing me signs in the house, you talking back and all that shit. You do for yourself. That might have been my case too, because I was rebellious at some stages in my youth. You understand? But whatever reason it is, they don't stop loving you. Like I said, now my mom showed me the most adult love now than I've ever probably gotten from her. And it's a point in time where you grow up and you just say, you know what? It might not have been her fault when she started locking me out the house, because I was staying out the house and didn't want to go home because I couldn't do what I wanted to do at home, but I could do everything I wanted to do at somebody else's house being grown in the street. What up, Patrick? I could do all that being grown in somebody else's house being in the street. And me and this wonderful lady was having a conversation, whereas earlier she was saying her mom wouldn't allow her to spend the night over nobody else's house, and I was always spending the night over their house. And we were saying how her mom knew how to keep the kids safe. Not that my mom didn't. My mom wasn't allowing you to do what I wanted to do in her house. So she said, you either do my rules or you get the hell out. Some parents are like that. But you got other parents, on the other hand, that'll let people spend the night and do what they want to do. But at the same time, you can do whatever over there. You know what I'm saying? You could get away with everything. And me and my daughter, she's 24 now with her own 2 kids, but we had this problem. Growing up, she always wanted to spend a night somewhere until I had went to nursing school. I had got a job right before then, and I said, okay, you could go to my sister Dana's house. This guy's honest truth. 3 to 11. I have no reason to lie. I'm not going to shed. This isn't to shame anybody. This is to put the stories out there to help you, and I'm not going to be long. So I'm going to better myself, and if you can't trust your family with your kids, who can you trust? I was always, no, you can't spend the night nowhere, go nowhere, be unsupervised, because you don't know who's spending the night. You don't know who horny. You don't know who gonna try you. You don't know what the mama, boyfriend, brother, cousin, uncle that be spending the night over do with little girls and stuff. Oh, mommy, you got a sick mind. Until one day, I came home from work, 3 to 11, went to get my daughter, and the whole house was quiet. And I knew immediately, because when you discern things in the spirit, you know something is wrong. You understand? So I immediately draw an attitude with my daughter, because I said, right, wrong, or indifferent, anything that happened, let me? No, I can't defend you with lies. And you're not going to embarrass me in front of people. If I know you told the truth, I could defend you. If I know you wrong, I could defend you. If I know you right, I could defend you. If you lie, that shit's gonna backfire on us, and you not gonna embarrass me. Always tell me the truth. Anything go down, come to me. Now, she was about maybe between 9, 10, 11. The dates, I know the dates, but I'm just gonna keep on moving along. So anyway, I walks in the house, and her husband, ex-husband, I think at this point now, kids, everybody there, strangers, everybody, you know, just gathered up like, ooh, she about to go off. Like, they knew I was going to walk in there and turn that motherfucker over like Jesus did that goddamn merchandising in them temples, y'all. Excuse me. But he was mad they was selling them goats and sheep and lambs and doves to the poor people. Yeah, don't mess with God's people for no reason. Anyway, I didn't always walk with no mean spirit, but I will defend mine. I'll punish my kids if they need to be punished, and I will deal with school teachers accordingly. Whatever, you know, I was that type of parent. So I get in there, and she didn't come to me and say, Mom, this happened. And fear will do that. Fear will keep you silent. And I do believe that one of the nephews, her cousin, was like, if you tell, I'ma do this to you. Anyway, they had my daughter in some apartment building trying to get her to perform oral sex and do all this other stuff. And when my sister sitting there, people sitting there like they don't want to talk, I just started swinging and going off. The police was called, y'all. The police was called, and I could have had everybody arrested, from her best friend's son, her son, everybody in the goddamn house didn't protect my daughter. And it didn't make me mad. It made me get my daughter and put that rule even more in effect. You cannot spend the night. No, I'm going to keep you safe. I don't give a damn if I got to lose a job. I don't give a damn if I don't work. I'm going to make sure you safe until you adult enough to take care of yourself and make these decisions as to who you want to go around. And I don't let her same thing with her kids. She ran into a couple incidences with people we know from the same damn town. Like, not nothing bad, but when people watch your kids and they don't like somebody in your family, they mistreat your kids, grandkids, or whatever. But I got real strict on that. You cannot spend the night over. You're not going to nobody's house. You're nobody gonna take advantage of you. If it happened in the family, God knows what's happening on the outside. So my mom wasn't like that. At 14, I would go and go and go. She would come looking for me when I had my kid. If I took my kid and went and stayed somewhere, she came and found her firstborn grandson, took him from me, and hauled ass and went on back home. Anybody know my mother? Know my mother did that. But she would leave me where, and I just wish sometimes she had a little bit more, how can I say it? Not love, because the love was there. It's just all love ain't that ooshy, wooshy, wooshy. Some love hurts. Some love you turn your back on things. Some love you shut down. Some love you say, I'm not going to tolerate. Some love you say, if you want to be disrespectful, disobedient, think you want to be grown, go to hell on. You know what I'm saying? And I said this once before. Other parents that say, oh, well, you can have your boyfriend spend the night over, or you could lay up in my house, or you could smoke weed in my house, you could drink in my house, you could sell drugs in my house, you could carry guns in my house, just to keep their kids home and just to have them. Yeah, you know your kids are safe, but how safe are they with the drugs and the traffic running in and out, and with people spending the night? You don't know all these different spirits coming in and out your house, and that's why stuff like that might have happened to my daughter, because when your spirit ain't guarded and you ain't really paying attention to kids, and you ain't really babysitting, and you ain't really watching what's going on, shit like that happens. So I felt like getting on here talking about it this morning, because it is some truth to it. It will set you free. If you ever went out there, had a kid at an early age, you're not a bad woman. You're not a bad person. There's no shame in it whatsoever. Because at this age now, 50, about to be 51 in October, I'm a great mother, great grandmother, but I'm at the age where my daughter, she got her kids. She's 24. I don't have no babies. I don't have that mental responsibility of having to take care of kids right now. And that's some of the most freeing time in your life, when it's really just you, you know, and you can get up and be about you. You and you. You know what I'm saying? I did that life. I did everything I can. The kids, because anybody know me, know I didn't raise my two sons. And if we see each other right now, we'll speak, but they got their own issues to work out, because family, again, will tell your kids that your parents don't love you if they go away to prison, or if they say they out on the streets doing drugs or whatever and ain't being a parent at that time. Oh, my kids were told, you out tramping the street, she hoeing with the Jamaicans, and they developed this monstrous picture of me like this. Oh, my mother wasn't there, so I don't gotta love her. I shouldn't. Maybe they were taught that. I don't know. But this is the attitude they developed. So am I wrong for not putting my all in all into a 35-year and a 28, soon to be 35 and soon to be 28-year-old? Absolutely not. Excuse me, 29 and 35. They 6 years apart. Excuse me. Damn, Drew. Damn. Oh, I just look 35. I'm only joking. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. It's not your fault. The devil don't always make you do it. Thinking my mother didn't love me, I went out and found love. Was it real love? No, because I never stayed with the first man I had the baby by, nor the second, nor the third. My kids they don't have the same father. They all have different fathers. Oh God, thank you, Marquita. Yeah, I'm gonna be 51 in October. So I'm one of them women, 3 different baby fathers, but I got along with all of them. One since passed on, one got deported back. 2, matter of fact, is deported back to Jamaica. So it's just me. And maybe my boys is angry. Wow, you don't look like you have kids that old. You 34. You could be my daughter, girl. My oldest son older than you. About 1 year, June 29. So what I'm saying is, it's not always the devil's fault. It ain't always. The Bible say, provoke not your children to anger. It does say that. I don't think my mom provoked me to anger. I think I saw a lot of, oh, well, you let my brother get away with this, then these girls get away with that, and they could do this. And when you 5 girls, 1 boy, and you and the boy is in the middle, 2 girls under me, 2 girls over me, and 1 boy over me. Shit, I was sandwiched. I couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Everything was just like passed over me, under me. And then, like I said, one day, the Bible says you're drawn away. LOL. My birthday is the 29th. Okay, I gotta wait till it come back in again. I didn't see that. You know what? Now that I'm done with the poem, hold on. I might be able to log into my dashboard. Hold on. But yeah, you guys. So it ain't always somebody made me do this or somebody made. No. Sometimes you gotta say, I gotta own that right there. You know, if I was a little bit, it says sorry, November 29th. Okay. All right. I'll remember that. Okay. But yeah, you gotta remember, sometimes you're drawn away. It's something you want to do. It's something you desire. It's something you want to pick up and learn. You think it makes you grown. You think it makes you fulfilled. You think you're doing what the in crowd is doing and how they doing it. But at the end of the day, I was drowning in sin, and I had to figure it out. I had to end up, let me just tell you how it is, and then I'm going to show you how the Word of God, I'm always going to connect it back to the Word of God. Because from the time I had my first child to my second child, I was up and down the East Coast, all up and down Florida, selling drugs, using drugs. This is from 14. Earlier than that, I might have had my first child at 14, but that doesn't say that's when my sexual experience started, okay? I never was raped. That's not in my conscious, not in my subconscious. Any sex I ever had, it was all willing, probably. It was all fair exchange. It was all something at some point in time. I don't think anybody ever forced me to give up what I had to get out of any situation, to get a bill paid, any of that. No, and none of that. I was agreeable. I don't think I've ever been in a situation that I could think of, and I have a really good memory and I know my past. It was all consensual. So, with that being said, there's nothing in my past, nothing that's in your past that's going to keep you from progressing to your future. There's nothing that's going to hold you back from your past. The decisions I made to go out at 14 years old, from 14 to 19, 18, 19, I had my second son. I was getting arrested. I was 8.5 months pregnant. Sawed-off shotgun. 12 8 balls of crack cocaine and $5,000 worth of $10 vials bagged up. I was 19 years old. I was walking to the store, and I'll keep it real, I was still smoking then. Yes, I was. And I walked to the store to get some cigarettes on the corner of 5th and Warren. And when I came back, City Hall, Twin Fish was right in the vicinity. I lived over a jewelry store called Twin Fish. City Hall was right down the street from me. I sit on City Hall steps. I see a man throw a golf ball up in the window. I'm 8.5 months pregnant. I'm looking like I'll be damned. While he was distracting my cousin and this other Jamaican, my friend that was up in the house, he threw the golf ball up in the front window. They did some ninja type shit, went up my back windows, went in the back window and did they seize. I'm sitting there. What am I going to run for? I go ahead. I got arrested for like 2 weeks because when I went to court, I always was quick with thinking and stuff. So I said, I'm not going to let them bury me. I'm 19 years old. So what they call all that stuff on me. I'm talking myself out of this or whatever. But I go to court one day and I fake labor. The judge say, okay, in your own recognizance, go ahead home. And I was out of jail for like 6 months after that, maybe. That happened in July 88. Yeah, I was supposed to go to court. Didn't go to court, but I'm right there in the same little hometown just walking around. And one day, January 19, 1989, I had some gold in my mouth and some gold braids. Some blonde braids. And a cop named Glenn Martin saw me and my friend. I just call her Miss B, Miss V. Y'all know her. She got 4 girls. I'm not going to call anybody's name, but me and my good friend, y'all know the 4 girls from Hudson. But anyway, a friend of mine named, we'll just call her Miss V or Miss B. So, we walking right there by Columbia and 3rd, and Glenn Martin, a cop. Now, this cop used to date my sister. I ain't going to say which one. So he knew me. And I used to catch them. When I say I used to be around. I used to see everything when I was younger. But I used to catch this cop and my sister. They was dating. They couldn't hide it from me no damn more. But anyway, he said, Drew, I think we got a warrant for your arrest. I said, ain't no think you do. You do. I didn't go to court. Anyway, I was just trying to live out my little youth because I thought they was just going to throw the book at me and it was going to be the end of the world. See, you justify this negativity just like me thinking my mom didn't love me. I'm out in the street having a child at 14, finding the love and I tell you, I was 14, he was 23. I'm going to keep it real. Anybody know my firstborn child? His father is deceased. God rest his soul, but he was 9 years, probably 10 years older than me. When I say I was fast, I was built, developed like that, but mentally I was too. I held my own in them streets. Nobody beat my ass. I had to fight, but, not to get off track. But anyway, so I get arrested. He said, well, I think I have a warrant for you. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to run. I'm not going to go nowhere. And right where I was standing, facing down to the next street, y'all, is a store then called IGA. And the Morantes, I'll call their name because they public figure, you know what I'm saying? They own the store. Mr. T got on the phone, one of the sons, and called my mother's job because my mom worked at the daycare center in our town. And she's still there to this day and been there for almost 40 years now. My sister's 45, 46. But anyway, he called her. He said, I think your daughter just got arrested. So they took me out there. I got arrested. They booked me or whatever. I go to county jail. I sit in the county jail fighting these charges and them trying to figure out what they gonna do to me. Because remember, this is my first offense. I've never been in trouble in my hometown city. ever before. Prior to this, I was 17 in Florida, and my stupid ass, I tried some lipstick and didn't know nothing about a two-way mirror, and I'm just walking around with the lipstick in my hand like this, and we go outside, and they said, ma'am, I did 10 days in jail at 19. I ain't never stole nothing from nobody. No, I'll talk you out of something, but I ain't never, you gonna give it to me on your own now. But I ain't never, stole nothing from nobody since then. I said, what the hell? But prior to that, when I caught this A felony, B felony, possession of drugs and intent to sell, I said, damn, they didn't throw the damn book at me. But I found, I was always spiritual. I always told you, at 8 years old, I knew I had accepted white Jesus, the Spirit of God, in my heart, but I wasn't feeding my soul at that point. And again, that'll lead a lot of people to this day making horrible decisions and bad choices because they don't want to check their soul. They don't want to say, okay, the spirit want to do good, the flesh want to do bad, but I have to make a decision. I have to make you can Hail Mary 25 times. You can hoopah la 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 la, speak in tongues, run around the church, build 55 million churches. If you don't tell your soul the hell with being evil, it's still going to find you somewhere, some kind of way. Make a decision to say no to some of this. Because like I said in the poem, the devil don't always make you do it. Assume the responsibility. So I'm sitting in the county jail. And like I said, when I was in the streets, I was very swift with my tongue. I can talk. I could defend. I knew how to, it's the street. You sell drugs. You run up and down the New York City. Get your drugs. Be the driver. Be the seller. Be the hustler. Whatever. You found ways to get that money out there in the streets. I was doing all of that. So I'm sitting in jail, and just by the grace of God, I meet a man. And this Jamaican man came and didn't know me from one day to another day. I think he was out there visiting somebody else. Somehow I came across this man's path. He came across my path. And he gave me $1,000. I said, I know I'm going to prison. I still don't know what I'm going to get, but I'm going to have to go do some time. He gave me $1,000. I took $500 with me to prison and put $500 in a CD account. Boom. My mom, she would bring my sons out to see me because I had my second son prior to going, getting, I got arrested July 1988. I had my second son August 6, 1988. Stayed on the run. I was supposed to go back to court, but July 19, 1989 is when I started doing my time. But I didn't know how much until March 9, 1990. They was like, all right, this is what we gonna do. You either take a plea 3 to life, or we can go to court and you get sentenced 8 1/3 to 25. And Judge Lieberman told me, I'm gonna make an example out of you. I said, bitch, make it. My mouth was reckless. Make the example. Them lawyers don't do shit for you when you have them paid defenders and public defenders. Anyway, I was like, make it. I knew about you do the time, you do the crime, you do the time. So I'm not running from it, but I'm 19 damn years old. I've never been in trouble before. Who you trying to make an example of? But I tell you what, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. We had Hudson hopping. Anybody that know me and them Jamaicans up there on 5th Street, and this ain't going back glorifying drugs and the life I had, no. But I could speak my testimony. It was a part in my life where it was on and popping. Till one day, my cousin stole some stuff up there on 6th Street from J.J. Newberry's, ran to my house, and the cops followed her. But that wasn't the bus. It was the seed planted. You know what I'm saying? It was the seed planted. So anyway, boom. I ended up, lo and behold, getting the clothes from her or whatever. But nonetheless, like maybe 2 weeks later, my ass got popped. And when I say they signed statements on me, my mother's sister child signed statements on me. I ain't calling nobody name, but anybody that know that case know that her and 2 other people signed statements on me. At 19 years old. But see, did the devil make them do that? Or was they drawn away by their own lust because they wanted to stay out of jail, or they didn't want to go to get in trouble, or because they was offered deals to take my ass down? So when I started looking at situations like, who am I to be mad at anybody? First of all, you understand? Because I understand forgiveness. It's not for you. It's not for me and you to keep being cool or whatever, if that's the case. It's for me to be free. But at 19, I'm looking at this like, oh, these people want me to go away. Judge said he gonna make an example out of me. I tell you. Yeah, hey, Keita, yes. This is real. I don't have no reason to sit here and lie. But when you still, God says, I'll give you beauty for ashes. So when you look at a person, I mean, I'll get a close-up. It's some little things going on, you know what I'm saying? But my spirit is right. My spirit is right. But anyway, with everybody wanting to make an example out of me, I'm sitting there like, oh, 8 1/3 to 25. I ain't trying. I know me. I was still fighting. I was still swift at the lip. Although I had a spirit on me always not to start it, I would bring it and finish it. I wasn't the one, oh, let's go rob this, or let's go stick this up. Never walk with guns. Don't care. I mean, it was always some kind of protection or covering that I didn't get so far killed, still in prison, or have one of them infamous names around here that did something so demonic. Yeah, I took people food stamps when I was selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? And that's hurtful to the kids. Yeah, you think about that when I don't want to do that no more. So you stop selling drugs and you stop taking stuff from people. You know, you just make a decision. But I just want to finish this story up. He said, I'm going to make an example out of you. And I'm just making Monday's memories for me, because sometimes you have to remember the past to know you don't want to go fucking back there, okay? And from that day to this day, by the grace of God, I've never been back to prison. Never got in trouble again. I've had an inspection, you know, going through a trooper's, barricade thing. I had to get an inspection. I've never been arrested. Never got in trouble again, because I made it up in my mind. I believe that I can be a statistics, but in a good way. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, when I found out my cousins, I'm sitting in jail. This man gives me the $1,000. March 90th, 1990. March somewhere in the 20th, I kind of knew what my sentence was going to be. I took the 3 to life. I said, I'm not going to do no more than 3 years. If I take that 8 1/3 to 25, I may end up doing the whole 25 years. Because if a bitch get up in there and talk about she want me, we going to go to war. I had one woman try me in Bedford Hills Prison in New York State here. And when she realized I wasn't gay and wasn't down for it, she left me alone. Because I was a fighter back then. I will beat the shit out of you. Just to your self-perseverance. The hierarchy of law, like Maslow, like, let's keep it real. Why am I going to let you take me out when I have a right to live? But I didn't always start it, like I said, but I would defend it. Anyway, so the judge, I took the 3 to life, and the judge said, well, it was a program out called SHOCK. Anybody that knows SHOCK know that locally here around Albany, New York, it was one right outside of Albany, and I was blessed to go to there, be close to home, you know what I'm saying? But I go there. I do 6 months. I do 4 months. Okay, I got approved because my age range or whatever. I got approved to go to SHOCK. I didn't have to do all that prison time they was going to offer me. Or did offer me. Or that I chose to cop out to. Because like I said, that 25 in the back of my mind, I would at least did 5 to 6, 7, 8 years. I got sentenced March 1990. I pretty much started my sentence at the 6 months program. I believe it was March, April, May, June, July, August, October. So it was April to October, 6 months. So somewhere around May, June, I started feeling kind of icky. Now, anybody that knows SHOCK know it's one of these rehabilitation centers. Like, it gets you in check. It gets you to look at responsibility. It gets you to see the situation clearly. It gets you to evaluate things. It gets you to really look at some areas of your life that what you will call wayward children may be out here not looking at. I used to always say, who's a problem child? I'd be ready to punch one of them kids. I was in group homes. I was in group homes from 13. I was in foster homes. Me and my mom just some reason could not see eye to eye. But I'd be ready to beat them counselors up in them facilities or whatever. But anyway, you getting back to this, I somewhere around June, I'm like feeling something kind of off. So I was in Bedford. I was in shock then. So whenever you have a medical, they send you to the nearest prison. So I went to Bedford for like a month. They diagnosed me with cervical cancer. I'm a survivor, all these years later. That was in 1990, y'all. Never had cancer screening come back abnormal, anything, by the grace of God. The hand of God has always been on my life, when I tell you. But it wasn't until I was sitting in jail from, let's say, January 1980 to maybe January 90. These ladies, Pat and Marianne, used to come to the jail and try to, talk to us or whatever and get us to come out there and fellowship with them. And nobody would do it. So I'm always the one to say, you know what? I'm going to hold the bum's hand. I'm going to get, I'm going to be the one to be the first to do it, because I got my butt up and I went out there. I said hi to Jesus and it was on. Okay, I knew right then. I said, if I'm gonna take anybody with me to prison, because I knew I was going, why not take him? They say he's a nice guy. They say he got your back. You could do all things through him who strengthens you, and God will supply all your needs according to his riches in Christ Jesus. They was teaching me all of this going out there. So I'm like, all right, Jesus is my friend. We going to prison. He going to prison with me. And it was I believe that this man sustained me and was with me and kept me through everything from prison to now. Maybe I don't see a face on him like I used to see that white picture that's circulating. Because if Jesus is not a man, they say, or it's just a spirit, take the picture down. A spirit doesn't have a face. Hello? But anyway, so I'm in prison. I get the diagnosis with cervical cancer. I did my treatment, took care of all of that, underwent a little surgery. Again, like I said, been in remission, never had a bad pap smear, never have it reappear again by the grace of God. Went back, and when you go out for a month, you have to go back and make that month up. So instead of me graduating the program in October, I graduated in November. November 15th, 1990, I was released from prison, and I never looked back. Why? I made a conscious decision. I did everything I had to do to stop making those choices. And I had to work on my mind. Everything everybody say or do to you, you don't have to internalize it or think it's against you. You know how many jobs, how many relationships, how many people you may have pushed away, I may have pushed away by thinking, look at God. Yeah, absolutely. That you might have pushed away and think that these people didn't like you, didn't love you, didn't care for you, ain't want to be bothered with you, nothing to do with you. And it's all up here. Because you don't want to believe that these people care for you, love you, accept you the way you are. Hey Solomon, what's up? You don't believe that. I didn't believe it for a long time. And you run people off. People can pick that up. And you'll make bad decisions behind it. We've all been there at some point in time where we said, oh, look what the devil made me do. No, it's within you. I stopped saying that. Like, the devil don't make nobody do anything. Because if you really talk everything up to God, when the devil really want to mess with God's people, he have to go get permission from God according to the book of Job. So even in seeing bad situations and evil around us, if it's there, It is permitted by God. He has to get permission. But God also shows us how to defeat the enemy when he does get that permission. See, it wasn't permission with me. I'ma own my own truth right here. It was me wanting to be out there in them streets and experience something my mother was not allowing me to experience at home. Some people want to be grown and use their mother's house as a way of escape. They'll bring their girls there, their boyfriends there, they smoke, they drink, they have parties there, they do everything there, like I was saying earlier. And that wasn't the case with my mother. So I went out and found my enjoyment where I could, how I could. And usually it was with older people, older than me, because I didn't hang with anybody younger than me. So, again, you can't count out a mother's love, regardless of if you think she loved one sibling more than the other, if you think she neglected you, if you think it is not like that. Sometimes parents are justified in their decision of what they do because of the circumstances in their lives, you know. And I get that now. I understand what a mother's love is all too well now. And I understand that, you know, sometimes it may seem like you're being neglected or seem like you're not getting, you know, the right attention from your mom when other family members come along, you know, and things like that. But don't internalize it like that, because you run off in your own mind thinking it's one way, and they're probably sitting at home like, why she never like to be here? Why she always want to be out in the street? And in your mind, you thinking they don't want you there and they don't want nothing to do with you, and you can't do that. It's led a lot of people to do. And feeling like you're unloved, feeling like you're unaccepted, feeling like nobody wants to be bothered with you is basically what drives people to quick relationships. This is my prime example. You break up with somebody today, in a relationship next week. You're looking for love. You walked out on the love you probably had because you couldn't see it or thought it wasn't there, and then you see yourself in somebody else's arms in bed and relationship like a week later and starting something new. And that happens a lot in our communities and with people of color, people period. But a lot of times you see a status on Facebook, oh, this is my boo, and next week that's my boo, and and you know, and you're making these decisions to do it. Nobody's holding a gun to your head telling you, look, you have to leave one relationship, get into another. No, in your mind, you need to make a decision. I'm not going to let anybody hurt me. I'm not going to. If somebody don't like me, with discernment, you could pick that up than imagining it. It's better to know the truth through discernment than to sit there and imagine it or think somebody don't, because that drives you further off. And when you're off, that's when the enemy can step in and take control of your mind and have you believing the most wickedest stuff about everything, and it's not even true. And I see that all the time. I see it. So I just wanted to share my story. I just wanted to let y'all know, you know, don't count a mother's love out. It doesn't matter. We not here to judge a mother's love. And some mother's loves needs to be judged because, like I said, you got moms now who abuse kids more than children do. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, more than men do. So take that into account. Judge that. But when you have a mom with 4, 5, 6, 10 kids, and everybody's not going to get everything equally. Everybody's not going to get the same amount of time. Everybody's not going to get the same amount of attention. I just came to realize everybody's not going to get the same amount of love. Overall, we love our children and women love their children, but everybody's not. And for a child, for me, you, adult, whoever, to internalize that and think it's wrong, turn your back on the family and go try to find family and love other places, is, I think, the biggest cause for family breakdown and family structure not being as strong as it is today. So I just wanted to share that story with you. We got about 30-something odd seconds. I appreciate you fellowshipping. If you haven't caught it from the beginning, go ahead, replay it. Subscribe, like, and share over on YouTube. Share this, because I know there's a lot of women who had children at an early age and still holding the shame and all of that. And we can talk about that. Hit this video, like and share. You guys over here on Facebook, if you want to join in on this conversation, I'm going to go live later on this afternoon, Making Memories Monday. Make Your Own Memories Monday, going live on YouTube. So you guys come over there, subscribe to Religion Winked TV, ReligonWinked TV, and we can chat it up, because men is not just women. You have found yourself in the arms of women out there having kids at an early age, trying to justify being a man because you didn't feel like one at home, or you wasn't raised like one, or your mother didn't give you attention. So this is for both genders. This is for everybody, really. Start dealing with the things that has been holding us back. And that's how you progress. That's success is progress moving forward. So thank you. I'm about to end this live. God bless you all, and I appreciate you all. Thank you.